Claire Brady has had quite a life on Days of Our Lives, beginning with her birth during a wedding, a liver transplant as an infant, and traveling around the world. And that's before she returned to Salem as a young woman in 2015, played by actress Olivia Rose Keegan. Her run came to an end in July of 2019 when Claire went completely out of control, but she came back for a brief visit in a Halloween fantasy and by June 2020, was back on Days for real. However, in August 2020, the role was recast with Isabel Durant taking over. But by August 2021, she was on her way back out of Salem. Claire was born to Belle Black in 2005 during Sami Brady and Lucas Horton's wedding, but when the infant became ill, blood tests revealed that Philip Kyriakis was not her father, Sean Douglas Brady was. Lexi was able to find a liver transplant for Claire when Bo and Hope's son, Zach, died tragically. And later, the girl's true parentage was revealed, leaving Philip devastated. He fought for custody, but Sean and Belle ran away to Australia. Belle and Sean took Claire down under. Sean Smith/JapaStudios.com. When the family returned to Salem, Philip agreed to let Claire remain with Sean and Belle. But the tot was kidnapped and her parents tracked her down in Ireland. After surviving a plane crash on the way home that took the life of Claire's great-grandfather, Sean Brady Sr., Belle and Sean took Claire to sail around the world. In 2015, Claire came back to Salem as a young woman. When Eve Donovan heard the teen singing in Horton Town Square, she asked her to be part of a music event and later offered her a chance for an audition in New York. Belle wasn't happy about this and warned Eve to stay away from her daughter. But Claire defied her mother and went to New York anyway, though unfortunately, she blew the audition. "I'm gonna make you a star. Maybe." Jill Johnson/JapaStudios.com. When Claire told Ciara Brady that she'd asked out Chase but he turned her down, Ciara confessed that Chase had raped her. With the help of Theo Carver and Joey Johnson, Claire kidnapped Chase and brought him to a warehouse so Ciara could confront him and the teen could be arrested. At the prom, Mark rigged the projector to show humiliating photos of Ciara and Theo, so Claire joined her friends in vandalizing Mark's car. After spending the night in jail, Claire was surprised to see that her parents were back together again. Claire decided to drop out of school to focus on her music, and Sean and Belle struggled to support their daughter in the pursuit of her dreams. When Belle came into a lot of money, she invested it into Chloe and Philip's record company on the condition that they signed Claire to a recording contract. But the teen ended up simply acting as an assistant to a pregnant Chloe. Still struggling to get her music career off the ground, Claire was upset to find her YouTube channel tanking, and laughed off Jade's suggestion to make a sex tape. So Jade decided to take matters into her own hands and planted a hidden camera in Claire and Theo's hotel room. But when she went to upload the video to Claire's laptop, Jade accidentally put it on Theo's. Horrified by what Jade had done, Claire demanded she delete the evidence, but she couldn't get to the copy on Theo's computer. "Ciara, can you get out of here with your sexy black leather? My apron can't compete." XJJohnson/JapaStudios.com. Claire had already fought with Ciara over Theo, and then they found themselves competing for the face of Bella, so Claire decided she had to cheat to win. Trip Dalton was smitten with Claire, but she reconciled with Theo. Unfortunately, Theo was shot and left to recuperate in South Africa. Claire and Trip comforted each other with sex and Ciara walked in on them. Hoping to keep Trip for herself, Claire helped push Ciara towards Ben Weston, but then things got even more complicated when evidence surfaced linking Claire to the fire at the cabin that nearly killed Ciara. Claire's relationship with Trip hit the skids when he agreed to marry Haley Chen to keep her from being deported, and the blonde transferred her jealousy onto the nurse, teaming up with Eve to get her deported. As Claire became more and more unhinged, she tried to burn Trip and Haley alive, and then attacked Trip with a knife and tried to kill Ciara again. Thankfully, Marlena was able to talk her granddaughter down and the mentally unstable young woman was taken to the hospital where she was transferred to Bayview for treatment. Claire made an appearance in Ben's Halloween Nightmare as she went on a murderous rampage through Salem, but by June of 2020, she was actually released from Bayview and moved in with John and Marlena as she tried to put her life back together. First on the list was making things right with Sierra, and while she was willing to forgive Claire for her actions, she wasn't as keen on naming her maid of honor. Then Gwen Davis, the woman she'd met at the hospital that everyone seemed to be looking for, showed up and got Claire involved in her own dangerous troubles, hiding valuable property from the mob. "I'm all better, you guys, promise." XJJohnson/JPaStudios.com. Claire seemed to convince Sierra that she was on the up and up, but Ben remained intensely suspicious of the blonde. So when Sierra's wedding dress got ruined and the ring later disappeared, he immediately blamed Claire, who continued to protest her innocence. After a bomb exploded at the wedding, it was finally revealed that Claire had nothing to do with any of the chaos, and she was upset when Sierra was believed dead. After a run-in with Jan Spears, Claire liked her, despite her parents' warnings about the psycho. He also had a literal run-in with handsome young Charlie Dale where she spilled his smoothie and he became smitten with her. Though she kissed a recently returned Theo, he rebuffed her and she decided to see where things went with Charlie. Unfortunately, it turned out he was Allie Horton's rapist and also kidnapped his mother, so it didn't go very far. After Charlie was murdered, it was eventually revealed Jan had framed Val for the crime and Claire wound up being kidnapped by Jan and nearly killed. Claire also tried to help Ben track down a missing Sierra, and they grew close enough during the ordeal that when an amnesiac Sierra served him with divorce papers, Claire shared a kiss with Ben. But he loved Sierra and Claire helped him make her remember their history, even subbing in as the bride at Sierra and Theo's wedding so Ben could run off with his love. Once Ben and Sierra were reunited, Claire agreed to accompany Theo back to Africa where she had accepted a job. Stay tuned to see what happens next. Ad block test. Why?